In a city of 3 million, only one man has ever led the Toronto Marlies to the Calder Cup Finals. Now, in a new season with new expectations and an ever-fluctuating roster, all eyes are on the men behind the bench. Leading the way, Dallas Eakins has experienced a lot in his 3 years as head coach, including back-to-back All-Star appearances. Now, the man behind the bench reveals himself in the latest Leafs TV special. This is The Coach.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Toronto Marlies.
In 2005, the Toronto Marlies came to town. Dallas Eakins, coming off his long playing career, was named as an assistant coach under Paul Maurice.
Assistant coach, Dallas Eakins, and your head coach, Paul Maurice.
What I expected back in 2005 was to get my feet wet. It was an interesting situation. We had come back to Toronto, my wife and I, and we were actually getting ready to head back to LA. That's where we were living at the time. And my wife, Ingrid, let it be known that she'd maybe like to stay in Toronto. I needed something to do here, and it just so happened that the jobs were open. I was able to get one of the assistant coach's jobs with Paul Maurice being the head coach, and I guess what I really expected was to get some experience from an NHL head coach. And I had another great offer to go to another team, longer contract, more money, but I wanted to stay in Toronto for, not only for my wife so she could work, but I thought it was best to learn as much as I can off of a NHL head coach, and the learning process was quick.
After only one season with the Marlies, Eakins moved up to the big club to once again assist Maurice. And after 3 seasons with the Leafs, it was clear to acting general manager Brian Burke that Eakins was capable of leading the team on his own.
My job here with the Toronto Marlies is quite simple. We are going to develop players, and we are going to develop them as quickly as possible and get them down the street to play for Big Blue as soon as we can. We want to develop these young men on the ice and off the ice. We want players that are character players and are character people. They will be involved in the community. They will live their lives right, and they will be committed to being a good teammate with great work ethic and great discipline.
Joining Eakins behind the bench was Gord Dineen and Derek King. The trio clicked from day one, contributing to the team's success and player development.
For me, they should be receiving the majority of the credit. I kind of bop around and grab guys as much as I can one-on-one. These guys are, Derek's integrated with those forwards each and every day. Derek with the defensemen. There is no way that this team or these individual players could have had this success without Gord and Derek. I think they could have had it with another head coach, but those two guys are an integral part of all of these players' development, and they are the ones for me who I rely on heavily, and I know the players rely on them too. And it's interesting. A lot of accolades go around to the players who have been called up or have moved on to other NHL teams that we've had here with the Marlies, and everyone's patting the players on the back and mentioning my name, but it should be Derek and Gord who should have the fingers being pointed at them for the guys who have helped these guys take the next step.
Ricoh Coliseum has become a fan favorite over the years. It's a marquee venue within the AHL. The Marlies have learned to capitalize on the enthusiasm of the hometown crowd.
A home game at Ricoh Coliseum has, I think, changed greatly since the first time I walked out to that bench as an assistant coach. Our marketing crew, our people who sell tickets over at the Marlies have doing an exceptional job marketing our team. I don't think it hurts that we've been able to start to win as well. and that leads to the experience. It's an arena that the fans are right on top of you. It's close-knit. It's usually full, and as soon as you've got a rink that they're on top of you and it's full, that leads to a great environment. And I only need to say is look at our home record over the last 2 years. When the attendance really started to take off, our home record really started to take off, and I know that our players are extremely excited to go out there and play. It's not like we're walking into some of these rinks on the road where you can count the number of fans some nights, or it's a massive rink with a small number of people in it. I think the Ricoh Coliseum is as good a place to play as there is in the league.
I would rather somebody take a pair of steel-toed boots and kick me in a delicate region than to lose a hockey game like that. That is a tough way to lose on a playoff stanchion.
Motion goes to Anaheim, and you get Joffrey Lupul back, and then this Dick Gardner, who was their first-round pick in 08.
Yeah, I have no idea who's going where or what, and if I'm receiving anybody, but yeah, I'm fresh off the bench. So thanks for the TSN update. And I think if I wasn't disappointed, I think Brian Burke should have fired me immediately.
Hey, listen, it's we want to develop our guys to hate the Montreal Canadiens, just like our Leaf team does.
An update on Jake Gardner, but what might his status be?
Jeez, he played a hell of a game and had 2 goals.
He really did.
I think I was just okay. I'm not sure I liked a whole lot, and I didn't dislike a whole lot either. If you're not disappointed and you're okay with that, well, that says, hey, you're good with status quo.
I'm a massive fan. I would love for Don Cherry to come down, and I invite Don to come down here and sit in my office. And hey, let's talk about where we're at with our players.
I'm not going to sit around and lie to the public and you guys and put on a smiley face and say, oh, no, I'm not upset about it at all.
Bob McGill just made an observation that what he likes about this Marley club, that regardless of what way it is played, regardless of the opponent, you guys seem able to be up to the test.
Well, Big Daddy Bob McGill's a pretty smart man, isn't he?
Absolutely disappointed. And like I said, if I wasn't, Burke should kick me right out the door immediately.
Make it quick. I've had food poison all day, and I don't feel like talking to you guys.
Well, what I've learned and what I've experienced is I think you have to be honest. And I know from my experience from a player, what the media is all about. I took great notes while I was an assistant coach with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I took in every one of Paul Maurice's press conferences. You didn't see me there. I was just around the corner. I know what's going on in the city media-wise. I understand there's a lot of different outlets battling for, hey, watch our coverage, read our newspaper, read my blog. So I understand how the coverage goes. I know what they're looking for usually. And in the end, I'm going to be honest. And if I think they're looking for something to stir up the pot, if they're looking to stir the pot so it's more of a selfish thing, so they're going to become the star, then I'm going to call you out on it. I think that's the only way to be with the media. If I'm always honest with them, then there's never any problems. It's the day that you start being dishonest and then you have to start covering up your little lies along the way, I think you run into massive problems as a coach.
Being a head coach is not all that glamorous. Long nights, tedious road trips, and pressure from the large markets, just to name a few.
I think the hardest things that I've had to get through as a coach here is, we've had personal things with some of our players that obviously we keep in-house that are sometimes extremely emotional, not only for the kid, but our staff, and you feel for a kid who's going through certain things. The thing that always kills you as a coach, and because once again you've been on that other side of the table, is that when you've got to tell a kid that, listen, we're not going to sign you, or you're done here, or we're sending you to the East Coast League. That's never fun. It just isn't, and it's part of my job, and it's probably the biggest thing that I don't like about it. But you have to hit it head on, look them in the eyes, and let them know that there may be a light at the end of the tunnel if they are going down, and if they're not, hopefully that we've taught them at least a little bit that they're better men walking out the door. Experience of going to the All-Star game this year was number one. I was proud to represent our team. I was able to go and represent our team because of our winning percentage at the time. So all of that has to do with our players, not so much the coach.
You ready? Yeah. Hey guys, just wait 1 second. I want to talk to you guys real quick. Yeah, thanks. I watched the first period from the bench last year, and what I saw was a whole bunch of players trying to be really nice and careful, doing things really slowly. And that's not how you guys are wired. It's not. Think about it from when you were a little kid. You guys have all excelled because you're able to do things at high rates of speed better than anyone else. You're here for a reason. You're here because you have skill, or you're highly competitive. You've got great character. So what I want you to think about is don't play beneath you. Don't go out there and let's not wait and see, okay, let's see what Trent Wilf is. Is he just gonna go really slow and make nice passes and let's let him do it? Well, no, let's not do that. Let's be the leaders that you guys are in here. What I want our team to do here is to lead, do what you do best, but let's lead the other team in this game, all right? Let's lead with a little bit of pace. Everybody got it? All right, let's go. Here we go, man, here we go. Let's lead the way here, men. Establish the pace. Establish the pace here, men. Lead the way, lead the way. Make them work for anything they're going to get, guys. Don't give them any free ones. Protect our goalie. Nothing for free, man. Nothing for free. Make them work at least a little bit for it. Oh, send it. Up the wall here. You got a hand bone. All right, let the goalie touch it. That's good. That's the way to snap it. Come on. Nice job. Nice job. Who's going to be the first one to tee one up out there? Hey, just tee it up. Get it over with.
And McElwainey, the goalie, coming out and getting involved here. Now you got a bit of an empty net, and it's a goal. It was all alone in front of the net. He came out, and Hamilton says, thank you very much. I'll take the goal.
Come on, Hamilton.
Alexiak playing it down low for Agazzino, and chopping at it in front of the net was Hamilton. Later may have gotten just a piece of that. That's all he needed to get. Now Agazzino centers it in front, and it's a score. Hamilton this time redirects it past Laner, and again it's a 2-goal lead for the West.
You couldn't have scripted any better. The Providence player, the captain of the other team, scores late to tie the game, and now there's a real buzz in the crowd.
As they get the pass up ahead, score! Whitfield brings his hometown crowd to its feet, tying this game.
When I saw Ryan going to the net like he normally does, it's just one of excitement. It's one that you're proud. Everyone's caught up in the moment of the game.
Slides through, scores! Hamilton!
Hambo!
The hat-trick goal!
That's my guy.
It's just one of excitement. It's one that you're proud. Everyone's caught up in the moment of the game, and yeah, you're just elated. It's like a different level. It's one thing if one of the other guys would have scored, you still would have been very happy, but it takes it to a new level when it's your guy.
The 2013 AHL All-Star Game Most Valuable Player with a hat trick this evening is Ryan Hamilton.
Well, my relationship with Ryan is probably the same as a lot of players. we're probably a little bit closer because he's been here right from day one when I took this job.
It's been great, you know, since he's been here. Personally, you know, I've learned a lot. He's been doing a great job developing guys and putting a winning product on the ice.
I admire him. I respect him. I cheer for him. He's a guy that comes in every day and does what we ask. He leads by example.
I know I'm one of the older guys or veteran guys, but you know, I'm still constantly learning from the coaching staff and trying to become a better person, and you know, on and off the ice. And you know, that's what they key on. It's obviously they're developing hockey skills, but they're also developing good people, and you know, that's definitely one thing that we're real fortunate to have with the coaching staff in Dallas.
Listen, he's a great teammate, but he's just a great human, and his parents should be very proud of the way they've raised him.
Mike Koska, hard pass. Kessel on his off wing, his hard pass. Kadri shoots, he scores!
Since 2009, when Aikens was named head coach, 32 Marlies have gone on to play at least one game in the NHL.
I root for every one of those players, and not only the guys we've had, but the big club as well. It's the fans in this city deserve so much a winning team. They've been so patient. They've been angry at times. I know their frustration. I've been here for quite a long time now, and this city deserves a winning team. And so I cheer for every one of those players, but of course we keep a close eye on how our guys did, if they played, if they didn't. We still, I always check on see how Victor Stahlberg's doing in Chicago, or Keith Cohen's doing with the Islanders. So listen, guys that you coach and they've gone on to bigger and better things, you're always going to check in on them. I just wish I could see the Leafs play more. It's hard to get your own team prepared, practiced, you're playing, and then still keep track of the other guys. But that's a great thing with our organization and us being in the same city, is that, you know, I can quickly call a Dave Nonis or a Claude Loisel, or the guy that I talk to probably 4 or 5 times a day is Dave Poulin. And so it's, I've always got a good feel for at least how they played, even though I didn't see it with my own eyes.
Dallas is a great communicator and a very good teacher. He has the ability of finding out what a player needs to improve, and every player is different. He quickly assesses their strengths and weaknesses and works on their weaknesses. And some of those weaknesses are off the ice. It might be training methods or diet, you know, player preparation. And he's been able to teach a player to become a professional. And that's, you know, for us, that's a very, very key ingredient to a good coach.
Well, Dallas is he's a player, and I think that goes a long way when a coach can understand what a player is going through. And Dallas wasn't, you know, he wasn't a Wayne Gretzky, so he knew how to interact with guys that were playing 25 minutes a night and guys that were playing 4 or 5 minutes a night. And I think that that goes a long way. The type of coach that if you brought your work boots to practice in games every day, you're going to get rewarded. And you know, just an easy guy to approach, was very positive, and you know, again, Marlies are having great success this year, and he's a big reason why I think they're having that success.
It's been a long time where we haven't spent a lot of time together. You know, just the hockey world's busy, and we were always on different teams, but we always kept in contact, and he's been a great friend over the years, and basically one of my first mentors when I went away from home. He was an older guy, he was from Peterborough, and being away from home at 16 for the first time, I had a great role model with a great work ethic. So, and we became defense partners my second year, so we became really close, and he ended up being in my wedding party, and then over the years, you know, we spent some time in the summer, but as lives get busy, it gets less and less each year, so you know, it's really special to be here with him this weekend.
He's a great coach. He's demanding, and he asks a lot of his players, but you know, at the same time, he's a player's coach, and he listens to you and respects you, and in turn, you respect him.
I love Dallas. He was very hands-on with the players. you know, he was always around, always helping you out, always giving you pointers, and he held you accountable. I think, you know, if you did something wrong, you heard it, but I mean, it was in a positive way, and he just helped you get a lot better. He definitely prepared me very well when I did get my chance and when I did get called up. I mean, I think he's the perfect guy there. He's been doing a great job. You see how much they've improved over the years at him at the helm, so he's obviously doing great.
He was a good coach. You know, coming in there, didn't really know what to expect as a young guy, and first thing that really caught me was just how well he understood athletes in general and more specific hockey players. He just, you know, being a player himself and being a younger guy, and he just really knew how to read a player, how to understand what was going through his mind, and just really good at the mental side of the game. Not to take anything away from the rest of it, but that's really what struck me.
I'd say he's a big players coach. He gets a lot of chatter with the players and knows how they feel and knows what to do with them, especially with a lot of games, and knows when to rest, knows when to practice hard, and he's a big fitness guy, and he carries that over to his players, and I think being on the team down there is we were probably one of the fittest group I've ever been on, and Dallas is really behind that, and he lives the style he wants his players to live, and he lives a very healthy, fit style, and the players see that as a role model type kind of, and it helps a lot to build character on and off the ice.
If you look around the NHL, I think about 3/4 of the coaches in the NHL were head coaches in this league, and if you're in the top 3 or 4 in our league, there's pretty much a guarantee you're going to move on and coach in the NHL, and Dallas deserves it. He deserves the opportunity, and I'm sure when he gets there, he'll be very successful. I've developed quite a friendship with him, and I really respect him as a coach.
Where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now within the game of hockey?
I don't know. I hope I'm still working. Obviously, I'm stepping into a job, maybe not so volatile right now, being an assistant at the minor league level, but all I want to do right now is help the players get better. I want to help the Toronto Maple Leafs. The only way you're going to get better is if you're looking towards the top, and I definitely don't want this to happen overnight. As you know, it took me a long time to get from the minors to my first sniff at the NHL, and I think this process is even a longer one. So I'm willing to be in it for the long haul. I'm excited. Hockey's in my blood. It's who I am. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just hope I'm in the game and I'm enjoying it and I'm in a good organization.
Where I see myself in 5 years is probably the same. I fully expect to still be coaching in one capacity or another. I'm not to the spot where I'm, you know, you've coached for maybe 15 years and you're getting burnt out a little bit, or you need a break. So I fully expect to be involved in hockey, probably coaching. If not, hopefully something else. But yeah, there's no other big aspirations other than that right now. Personally, it's about my girls. It's I can't imagine that my one girl would be almost 10 by then, and so I look forward to that as well.